Dr. Todd Shaw with USC, our political insiders, Dave Wilson and Jim Felder. And we're hearing some of these vote totals come in as you guys are hearing them come in. West Virginia now called for the former president. We understand more than 70% of the vote has been counted in Florida tonight already, and those polls just closed a short time ago. And the former president up by more than 800,000 votes there.
Well, we were just joking about that, but the fact that the fiasco that was 2000, that was everything about that.
Right.
You had to recognize the fact that Florida knew they had to do something, and they were one of the first states to have their ballots tallied at the last election. And I think the more technology that we're using like this, and we're all electronic voting now, it should not take that long to be able to do, not like the punch cards used to be. So, you know, it's not surprising that Florida was already called, or not, it's close to being called, with 72% in already.
And the Dade County vote, we understand 55% for the former president, 44% for Harris. Is that a surprise to you, Dr. Felder, tonight?
No surprise at all in Florida, neither on West Virginia or Indiana. Expected that Trump would win those states, so I'm not surprised at all.
Dr. Shaw, how can Florida count the votes so fast tonight, and other states say it could be days before they get all their votes counted?
The states have the right to determine their election laws, you know, within bounds, and you know, Pennsylvania was going to do it quite differently in the terms of how quickly their laws permit them to count. Wisconsin, there's various rules by county, so states greatly vary.
I want to talk about those exit polling numbers that we talked about earlier. Some of the main issues, according to the exit polling: the economy, democracy, abortion, immigration, foreign policy, in that order. But when it came to breaking the two candidates down, according to CBS News and their exit polling, Harris voters, the most important issues: the democracy at 58%, abortion at 22%, the economy at 12%. A CBS News exit poll for the former president: the economy, the top issue, 49%, immigration, 21%, democracy, 13%, and that would be followed by abortion for Trump voters. So some of the same issues, Dave, just in a different order there.
It really depends upon what the campaigns focus their messaging on. You heard it again and again and again. This is a threat to democracy, a threat to democracy. And in that particular case, that will begin to ring itself in people's ears. You have that much repetition of a brand like that, and you begin to have people go, well, that must be a key issue because they're talking about it all the time. I don't know if you talk about that at home around the kitchen table. I've been talking around my home about the fact that it's costing more money to go to the grocery store. You go and you pick up 7 items and it's $44. And that's not what I grew up with, and it's not where we were 4 years ago. And I think when you look at the issues of the economy, the issues of inflation, those things begin to resonate for people. The question is, do they vote in that particular way? And are we actually expecting Washington to solve all of those problems?
And Jim, Harris's voters, according to the exit poll, say democracy was the big issue for them today.
Well, it was. But now remember, Trump inherited a great economy from Obama, and he had something to build on. And a lot of people looking back at what he did during his term, when things were moving along, but it was pushed along by Obama. And so Trump comes in and he claims all of that, and folks say, oh, he did a great economy. No, he inherited a good economy. The stock market was 6,000 when Obama came in. He left, it was 33,000. So Trump had something to build on, and to, well, anyway.
Yeah. And Dr. Shaw, it looks like the voters for both Trump and Harris have some of the same issues, just in a different order there.
Yeah. Right, and I would agree that how candidates stress these issues matter as to what voters pick up on. Yeah. But I do think the issue of the economy is one that's kind of a ground issue for voters. Candidates can't convince voters of things completely that they don't feel. And I think we still have a sort of post-pandemic lag with these inflation and cost of food and various items.
All right, what we're going to do